And hello, everyone. I'm Kira Phyllis. That is today's unveiling of the Obama's portraits that will hang in the White House. It's not only a historic moment, but a first for our country. Among all those famous presidential paintings, from George Washington to the Bushes, the first African-American presidential portrait will now grace the White House walls. For more, let's bring in ABC News' Kenneth Moton, along with ABC News contributor and president and CEO of the LBJ Foundation, our presidential historian, Mark Updegrove, and Anita McBride, former assistant to the First Lady Laura Bush and member of the White House Historical Association. The reason that we have this fabulous event and tradition. Anita, you've had one of the longest tenures of any woman who has worked in the White House. It's pretty remarkable. More than 2 decades now. So many specifics to talk about, but just your first impression on this ceremony and what stood out to you. What was so different today versus other unveilings of portraits?
Oh, thank you for having me. It is a special day in the traditions of the White House. This is really so important, not only for the former president and First Lady, but also for their staffs, and that both of them recognize that and recognize the White House staff, the resident staff that helped to make the White House at home. You know, I've been to 3 portrait unveilings myself while being a staff member in the White House. And that the warmth of the relationship between the principals and their staff that serve them is something that is really a common thread. And I think what was a little different about this, though, was Mrs. Obama's speech. She spoke to policy. She spoke to politics. She spoke to her, you know, what it meant that all of them that worked there, that what they continue to do in their lives after the White House and what it's so important to American democracy.
We all were sitting here listening, Anita, to Michelle Obama, and we thought, wow, that sounds so presidential. Maybe there'll be another type of portrait hanging in the White House. I mean, she really does, just like the president described about her, she has a grace and a intelligence, a demeanor about herself that is so inspiring and so fantastic. She really captured the room.
Yeah, she did. I think she does in all of the speeches that she gives. They're very genuine. They're very passionate. I think she has no political aspirations, though, but certainly when she speaks to politics, many people listen, and the portrait that really captured her captured the grace and the strength, and also the elegant way she presided over the White House.
Yeah, pretty remarkable. So, Kenneth, you know, we saw and heard the claps and the smiles and the laughs. You know, there has been a little low-level tension, you know, between the Bidens and the Obamas, since it did take a while for Obama to officially endorse Biden back in April of 2020. But today, the president got very sentimental. He expressed, in particular, the support that Obama gave him when his son died. Obama even calling Biden a true partner and true friend. What did you make of the spirit in the room today?
Kira, what you saw were friends honoring each other. And I will say it was the women who stole the show. The First Lady, Dr. Joe Biden, and the words of former First Lady Michelle Obama, which really, truly brought this all home, so to speak. Talking about the White House here, that serves the home of the current occupants there, and then the home that Barack and Michelle Obama made for 8 years there, as they honored the staff, the people who served in their administration, who are now serving in the Biden administration. And what you saw there was, as you know, current President Biden honored his former boss, it was not only sentimental, it was special. And really, Kira, when I watched that event, something that I just want to take a moment that, you know, Michelle Obama hit on as being growing up on the south side of Chicago, saying that she wasn't supposed to be there. Now with her portrait near Jackie Kennedy's and Dolly Madison's, and what she spoke about, what you really think about is the fact that this is the first Black family to live in that home as the president and First Lady, and to bring their 2 beautiful daughters there and to raise them alongside and with the help of Mrs. Robinson, who was also honored, the mother of Michelle Obama. But now you have their portraits displayed in the home built by enslaved individuals so many years ago. So many Black and brown people have served in those halls, continue to serve in those halls today, and now those portraits of the first Black president, the first Black first lady, will be displayed there on the walls. It is a moment that is enough to give you all the chills, and it was quite historic. But again, I bring home the point that it was Dr. Joe Biden and Michelle Obama who really, really stole the show there.
Michelle Obama just a moment ago.
The two of us can end up on the walls of the most famous address in the world. Then again, it is so important for every young kid who is doubting themselves to believe that they can too. That is what this country is about. It's not about blood or pedigree or wealth. It's a place where everyone should have a fair shot.
Wow. Mark, you know, you listened to what Michelle Obama just said, and then the former president, Obama, also describing the details of his portrait and how it symbolized his work, his struggle, his determination as president, just looking boldly forward, straight in the eye. I loved his description of why he appreciated how the artist painted him.
You know, the Obamas were always aware when they presided as president and first lady that they were groundbreakers, and that there were so many young people in particular looking at them as examples for what their lives might look like. And Michelle Obama talked about, in that magnificent soaring speech that she gave, talked about the fact that traditions like this matter, and that this was then being enshrined in White House history. And now young people can look up at the portraits that hang in the White House, those of all of our presidents and first ladies, those that Barack Obama said ran the relay race, continue to run the relay race that is the American presidency. And they can see people who might look like them, people of color who served in our nation's highest capacity. So I agree, this is a very moving day, and concur with Michelle Obama that traditions like this matter.
Anita, let's now talk about some of the details, please, of these portraits. Michelle in the beautiful blue dress, that red background. Then you have Barack Obama standing tall, that bright white background looking at us straight on. Talk to us about the artist, Robert McCurdy, who painted the president, and then also Sharon Sprung, who painted the first lady, the former first lady. How did they decide the details, the color, what they would wear, and how they would each do the painting? And take your time with what you know about both McCurdy and Sprung, please.
Sure. Well, I had an opportunity to meet both artists actually today, and they met each other for the first time today before going to the White House. The style of painting portraiture that Mr. McCurdy does is very unique. And this portrait is very unique for the White House to have a stark background, and his focus is for the people that look at that portrait to really take in who the subject is, what their background is, who they are, what they accomplished. So when you look at that portrait walking through the walls, that's all you see. You're not distracted by a background, a favorite room or favorite book or something that is traditionally behind a lot of presidents. It's a very unique way of painting, and it will really add to the White House collection, sort of the forward and modern looking way that Mrs. Obama always looked at art and for things to acquire in the White House anyway. And her portrait, I think we got a sense that Sharon McCurdy talks interestingly about being selected to be the portrait artist for this. In fact, the White House Historical Association, Stuart McLaren's podcast with the two artists, I believe, comes out today. And it really would be interesting for people to listen to both these artists talk about being selected to do this. But Sharon talks about having a meeting in the Oval Office with Michelle and Barack Obama while, of course, obviously they were still in the White House, to be interviewed of sorts, to be the portrait artist, and being, of course, very nervous about it, and having a whole list of things that she was going to talk about, what she would do. She, at the time, thought she might have been interviewing to do both portraits. That ultimately was selected just to do Mrs. Obama's, because they really connected. They connected on a level, I think, that was very personal and genuine. And I think the background, too, of the Red Room was obviously a favorite room of Mrs. Obama's. But it's a beautiful, elegant portrait. You know, it's difficult for artists because they don't get a lot of time with the subject. They may, you know, they take photographs and they're painting from photographs. They may have a couple of occasions to meet with them, maybe another sitting while the portrait's being done. But they really have to do it from the memory of meeting them and from the pictures that they take.
And of course, Anita, Mark, and Kenneth, with the meaningful messages, the beautiful speeches, the energy in the room, there had to be a bit of humor, a perfect bit of humor, when the former president described his wife and what she looked like in her portrait. We will leave you with that as we go to break.
I want to thank Sharon Sprung for capturing everything I love about Michelle. Her grace, her intelligence, and the fact that she's fine. Stunning.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.